प्रेम से बोलो श्री गणेश भगवान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय. Jai Sitaram and welcome to your virtual spiritual retreat with your Surrey Village Shiv Janak Maharaj, coming to you on TV Jaagriti every Sunday from 7 to 9 a.m. Also premiering on the Surrey Village Shiv Mandir social media platforms, our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook page every Sunday. And dear devotees, if you missed it on TV, you can also see a rebroadcast of our pravachan every Thursday on Suryodaya from 5 to 6 a.m. and that will come to you on radio and TV Jaagriti. So dear devotees, every Sunday with our virtual retreat, we have first of all dhyan and meditation invocations, as well as simple puja that you can follow along in the comfort and safety of your homes in these troubled times of the COVID pandemic. As well, dear devotees, you can do and follow along with our jap to Bhagwan Shiv, as well as perform your dhyan, your meditation, and coming to you each and every Sunday we have a unique, very special pravachan followed by havan and closing arti, dear devotees, and closing mantras. And so we bring to you a full service in the safety and comfort of your home. So without much to do, let us now begin with our invocation mantras, as we have the first part of our virtual retreat being the puja, followed by our pravachan, havan, arti and closing. So let us prepare now our mind, our body, our hearts, our soul to worship Bhagwan. Umapati Mahadev ki jai.
We prepare for invocation. As we put our hands together, we close our eyes. We contemplate on the various manifestations of that one divinity. As we pray for the success of this morning's prayer, we pray, O Lord, may accept the offerings of our love and devotion that we are about to offer unto you. May the aims of our offerings be achieved.
Bhagavate
कृपाणि धये गुरुवे श्रीरामदूताय सर्वसंकट निवारणाय श्री हनुमते सर्वसंकट निवारणाय श्री हनुमते नमः शिवाय। नमः शांति 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 हरि Now, dear devotees, we light the diya. As we light the diya, we ask, may all darkness, all negativities be dispelled from our lives, just as the light of the diya dispels the darkness around. That diya will also be the witness to our prayer, to our pujan, to our offerings this morning. As we light that diya, we pray, Harihi Om. Lakshmi karotu kalyanam Arogyam sukha samparam Mama satro vinashaya Deepa jyotir namostute Deepa jyotir namostute Deepa jyotir namostute Om Shri Deepaya Namaha Om Shri Brahmanaya Namaha Om Shri Vishnave Namaha Om Shri Rudraya Namaha Om Shri Kalashkumbhe Namaha. Now, dear devotees, we concentrate our thoughts on Pratham Puj Bhagwan Shri Ganesh, he who is worshipped first. Thinking of that form of Bhagwan Shri Ganesh, we ask, O Lord, may you accept our offerings of our love and devotion that we're about to offer unto you. May the aims of our offerings be achieved. We pray, O Lord, may you bless us in this time of need. We pray, O Lord, may you give us that knowledge to do what is right. Give us that wisdom to do what is right. As we pray, Harihi Om Gananam Tva Ganapati Gum Havamahi प्रियानां त्वा प्रियपतिगुं हवामहि निधीनां त्वा निधिपतिगुं हवामहि वसो मम आहं जानि गर्भदम् त्वं जासि गर्भदम् ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। Now, dear devotees, we prepare to do the Linga Puja. Week after week, we worship this most auspicious and sacred lingam here at the Surrey Village Shiv Mandir, which has been worshipped for over 150 years plus. And this morning, each and every one of you, you get the opportunity to join us in a Linga Puja, simple Panch Upchar Puja, where we offer 5 articles to Bhagwan Shiv. All you need to have, your flower for dhyan and meditation, a lot of jal, a lot of water to offer onto the lingam. Bhagwan Shiv is most pleased with as simple as that, a drop of water. You can offer or put in it a flower and a belva leaf. Also, you need your essence, your chandan, and Naived, whatever simplest of way prasad that you can offer to the sacred lingam. That form of sugar and raisins, fruits, or whatever you may have at the homes, you can join in as well as we perform this puja. Then we do namaskar, dhyan, contemplation, and Bhagwan Shiv seeking his blessings. In this way, we perform this simple puja, and all of us, we can join wherever we are. Harihi Om. With the flower in our hands, we close our eyes, we do dhyan, we concentrate our thoughts on that form of the Nirgun form of Bhagwan Shiv, that form of the lingam. As we pray to him in that form of Omkar, the form before there was anything else. Harihi Om. Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayante Yoginah Kamalam Mokshalam Chaiva Omkaray Namo Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. You offer your flower on the lingam. Now you take your lota of jal. As you perform, you pour the water on the lingam slowly. Envisioning in your minds that form of Bhagwan Shiv, accepting your offering of the water as it bathes the lingam. Harihi Om Namah Shambhavaya Chamayo Bhavaya Cha Namah Shankaraya Cha Mayaskaraya Cha Namah Shivaya Cha Shivataraya Cha Om Namah Shivaya. Om Samasara Shivaya Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Samasara Shivaya Namah. Padyam Argyam Achmanyam Snanam Samarpiyami. Om Samba Parameshwar Namaha. Om Har 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 Mahadev. Om Namah Shivaya. Now, dear devotees, we spray that sacred scent on Bhagwan Shiv as we offer Ghanda. Harihi Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Sambasara Shivaya Namaha. Ghandam Samarpyami. Om Namah Shivaya. We offer now Chandan on the lingam. As we offer Chandan to Bhagwan Shiv, we use our 3 fingers as we make that Tripunda Chandanam, that 3 lines on Bhagwan Shiv's sacred forehead in the form of the lingam. We offer Chandan. Harihi Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Sambasara Shivaya Namaha. Om Sama Parameshwar Namaha. Tripunda Chandanam Samarpyami. Om Namah Shivaya. Now, devotees, we offer Dhoop, or that sacred scented stick, as we wave it in front of Bhagwan Shiv, form of the lingam. We wave in a semicircular manner because Bhagwan Shiv, he is most pleased with just half. He doesn't even need the whole circumambulation before him. So we offer Harihi Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Sambasara Shivaya Namaha. Dhupam Samarpyami. Om Har 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 Mahadeva. Now, dear devotees, we offer the sacred light before Bhagwan Shiv in the same manner. We use the ghee diya preferably. However, if you don't have the ghee diya at home, you can use your oil diya, your coconut oil diya as well. Even a mustard oil diya you can offer to Bhagwan Shiv. As we wave that sacred light before Bhagwan Shiv, we pray, may he also illumine our lives as well. Harihi Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Sambasara Shivaya Namaha. Deepam Darshiyami. Om Sama Parameshwar Namaha. Om Har 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 Mahadeva. Om Namah Shivaya. Now, dear devotees, we offer Naivedya or Prasad to Bhagwan Shiv. Very important, whichever lingam you're using at home, dear devotees, know that only if it is a Narmada lingam or a lingam that has smaller lingams or wrong or shaligrams or wrong, only that lingam you can touch your thali or prasad to. All other lingams, dear devotees, you just wave it very close, but you do not physically touch your thali to that lingam. So as you offer your Naivedya in whatever way, whatever small, whether it be just some sugar and raisins or fruits, whatever fruit, or whatever prasad you have made, your batasa, on your cane, sugar cane, whatever you have to offer to Bhagwan Shiv this morning, dear devotees, offer it with that love. Samarpyami. We offer to you, Bhagwan Shiv, Naivedyami. Harihi Om. Sambasara Shivaya Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Naivedyam Naivedyami. Om Har 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 Mahadeva. Namah Shivaya. You offer now whatever prasad you have from your thali onto the lingam there, devotees, and you keep some for prasad to share with your families as well. And you have a belva leaf on your thali. We also offer that now together with the flowers. Harihi Om Namo Bhagavate Shankaracharaya Namah Eka Belvam Shiva Arpanam Om Shankaracharaya Namah Har 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 Mahadeva Om Namah Shivaya. Now dear devotees, while you take your time and you offer your offerings onto the lingam from your thali, we enjoy the beautiful Linga Ashtakam as you can join along and sing along at home as well. Harihi
कष्टगम्यं पुण्यं यः पते शिवसन्निधौ शिवलोकमहानोपदी शिवने
Now, dear devotees, we perform Jap to Bhagwan Shiv. As we do Jap, repeat the name Panchakshara mantra Om Namah Shivaya. As we chant the mantra, we use the Rudraksh mala, that mala of beads, Rudra, Aksh, the tears that come from Bhagwan Shiv, the beads, that's the mala that is formed, the Rudraksh. And dear devotees, as we hold the Rudraksh mala and you perform your jap, you balance it on your ring finger. And you use your middle finger and your thumb to pull it towards you as you count each Om Namah Shivaya. You start from the Miru and we end at the Miru, dear devotees. The little red part or whatever color you have here that tells you you have reached the end. And as you pull slowly towards you, you make sure you ensure that you do not use your index finger to touch the mala, dear devotees. Each finger has their own purpose. We'll go into that at some other time. So as we prepare ourselves to perform our jap, we sit upright, keeping our mind clear. We're purifying our mind, and we'll see how in today's katha, how very important purifying the mind is, dear devotees. As you purify your mind, you chant Om Namah Shivaya, repeating over and over, like washing in the washing machine. If it turns once, it does not clean the clothes. It has to turn many, many times, and then clothes become clean, dear devotees. Likewise, by japing, by chanting the name of Bhagwan Shiv, Panchakshara mantra, that most special, powerful mantra, we can purify ourselves as well, dear devotees. So we begin with the first beat. As we pull towards you, we chant Harihi Om. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Shivaya. Om Namah 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 उमापति महादेव की जय।
Now, dear devotees, as we prepare our minds for the pravachan or the lessons coming from these various scriptures that we read from, we do dhyan and meditation, contemplation upon the Panchadev, those forms of divinity in which all other forms come from, these five forms, dear devotees, and the forms of Bhagwan Shri Ganesh, Bhagwan Shiv, Devi Mata, Bhagwan Shri Vishnu, Shri Surya Bhagwan, dear devotees. As we pray to all of these forms of that one divinity, we also pay our respects to the Gurus who are the manifestations of that divinity here on earth, dear devotees. As we pray, we seek their blessings to cleanse our minds and purify our minds, dear devotees. We first purify our physical body. We do so by touching the various parts of our body with our right hand, the ring finger and the middle finger together. We touch the various parts of our body, asking, "Oh Lord, may you bless our body with that health, strength and efficiency so that we can be an instrument to do your service, O Lord." Harihi Om. We start by touching the mouth. Om Vaka Vaka, nose. Om Prana Prana, eyes. Om Chakshu Chakshu, ears. Om Shrotam Shrotam, navel. Om Nabhi, heart. Om Hridayam, throat. Om Kantat, head. Om Shira, arms. Om Bahubhayam Yasobalam, your entire body. Om Kartala Kare Prishte. We touch the ground in front of us. Om Shri Prithvi Divye Namaha. Now, dear devotees, we concentrate, we start with that form of Shri Ganeshji. Focus your thoughts on Shri Ganeshji, followed by Bhagwan Shiv, Devi Mata, Bhagwan Shri Krishna, and Surya Bhagwan, and then the lotus-like feet of your Guru. As we chant the various mantras, we pray, Harihi Om. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam
कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षेय मामृतात्। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसारिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरि नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। आदिदेव नमस्तुभ्यं प्रसीद मम भास्करा। दिवाकराय नमस्तुभ्यं प्रभाकरा नमोऽस्तुते। गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Having that peaceful mind, we offer all to Bhagwan Shiv, Shivoham, Shivoham. As we pray and we contemplate on Bhagwan Shiv, we enjoy Nirvan Suktam. Harihi Om.
Umarpati Mahadev ki Jai. Jai Sitaram, dear devotees, Swagatam and welcome back to your virtual spiritual retreat with your Shuli Panachipa Janak Maharaj. You know, we are within this difficult time of COVID-19 and we see so many rises in the amount of infected by the COVID-19. pandemic and virus here in Trinidad and Tobago. So many deaths, so many families dying together in this COVID-19 pandemic, and it's really scary here in Trinidad and Tobago. And as such, we have been bringing to you since last year in our first lockdown our virtual spiritual retreats here from the Surrey Village Shiv Mandir, and so you can participate in your pujas, and you can also enjoy your pravachan or get your discourses in the safety and comfort of your home. And this is what has been our aim since we have started with the virtual spiritual retreat, going in 1 year plus now, dear devotees, as we bring that service to you, we bring that retreat to you in your homes, dear devotees. And today, if you look at your Hindu calendars, we have our virtual spiritual retreat being broadcasted every Sunday here on TV Jaagriti from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., as well as a rebroadcast of this pravachan, of this discourse, every Thursday morning from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. And dear devotees, on our social media platforms, the Surrey Village Shiv Mandir Facebook page and our YouTube channel, you can get these pravachan and these virtual retreats anytime, anywhere. You can access with the internet, dear devotees, on any device, and we have been reaching so many around the world with our virtual retreat, and so many people have been reaching out. I know so many of you have enjoyed our Mother's Day program, and that was a rebroadcast of our Mother's Day program from last year, 2020, that we shared with you last week Sunday for our Mother's Day program. And today, dear devotees, in your Hindu calendar, you will see it is Adi Shankaracharya's Jayanti. Adi means the first. Adi Shankar. Shankar was the name given to that divine Atman when he was born, and he is a great Acharya, a great teacher, and so he is given the name Jagat Guru Adi Shankaracharya. He is a great teacher of the entire world, and there's so much to learn, from even the kathas and the narrations of his birth and the mysteries behind it, dear devotees, or the auspiciousness behind it, I should say, dear devotees. So let us now take a deeper look into that of Sri Adi Shankaracharya as we celebrate his Jayanti today, dear devotees, and we learn from his life and his parents' lives also, as we will see. It says here that Sri Adi Shankaracharya, the great Indian philosopher and social reformer who lived during the 8th century, was born in a tiny village near Kerala in South India, located at the banks of the river. Dear devotees, a very small place, humble beginnings. This is what, dear devotees, we see that greatness can come from very humble beginnings. Teachings for all of us. Never, think that whatever situation we are in, that we can't get out of it and we can't achieve greatness of our own. So it says here, in his short lifespan of 32 years, so he wasn't here on Bhulok in Mrityulok for very long. He was only here for 32 years. However, we will see, and if you just Google Adi Shankaracharya, you see the achievements that he has put in place that is still recognized to today, dear devotees. Up until today, we still recognize the contributions that Adi Shankaracharya has made since the 8th century. He has made to Hinduism especially, and for the propagation and the continuation of Hinduism, the foundations that he has put in place that are still followed today, that has kept Sanatan Dharam alive. He accomplished all this in a mere 32 earthly years. Yes, devotees, if we apply ourselves and we follow our passions, we do, and we follow our hearts as to what we have been sent here to do, we will see how much we can accomplish in the short time that we are here, how many lives we can touch in the short period that we are here. As the many songs say, we are only here for 2 days. Make the best of it. Make a contribution, leave your own legacy, dear devotees. So he became one of the greatest teachers of the Vedas. The only weapon he used for his achievement was his pure knowledge and spirituality. His gyan, his knowledge of Bhagwan, and his spirituality. This is what he used as his weapons. It says Shankaracharya ji is considered to be an incarnation of Bhagwan Shiv. An incarnation of Bhagwan Shiva, as you would have seen in that beautiful little pitya that we had here as the introduction to our pravachan. So, he was born to a devout Brahmin couple, their devotees. His Pitaji's name, his father's name was Shiva Guru, and his Mataji's name was Ariyamba, as a result of their ardent prayers for a child to Bhagwan Shiv. You know, so you see, as we said before, we can learn even from his parents. You want a divine child, what do? You pray. So they prayed to Bhagwan Shiv to be blessed with a child. And at a famous mandir, pleased with their prayer, Bhagwan Shiv appeared in the dream of his mother and inquired what type of child they wanted, whether they wanted a short-lived good son or a not so good son that will live for long. They choose the first option, of course. They choose to have a good son. And they thought they would deal with whatever when that time comes. But they chose a good son. Who wouldn't want a suputra? That is what a good son is called in Sanatana Dharma. In Hinduism, a suputra, a very good, noble child. And this is what they prayed for. Even though they knew that he would be here for a short time, they had no idea how much of a contribution he would have made. And while some may ask, why such a short life, only 32 years? That Adi Shankaracharya walked on this planet Earth. But, dear devotees, it is, if we understand the whole concept of karma, we are all here to pay back our debts that we owe from things that we would have done in our past lives. And so this is why, if we have repaid that debt, if it's time to move on, we just have to move on, as Bhagwan Shri Krishna explains in that of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We're only here for that temporarily intermediate period here until we move on to the next level or the next stage in our own evolution as an Atman, as a soul. So, it is said that a child was born to them in the spring season at noon on an auspicious Abhijit Mahrut, that midday time, just as Bhagwan Sri Ram was born at that midday time, their devotees. You know that there are different not so good times and very bad times during the day, like Rahu Kal and so forth. However, that midday period is considered that it has all auspiciousness, no matter what is there in the day. It is all auspicious at that time. And under auspicious constellations, they named the baby boy they had Shankar. After the dream of Bhagwan Shiv, they named the child Shankar. Young Shankar showed remarkable scholarship, mastering the 4 Vedas by the age of 8. By the age of 8, dear devotees, yes, very young, he mastered the Vedas. He was a prodigy, of course. And how do we account for prodigies in Sanatana Dharma? In Sanatana Dharma, we account for that where one can bring and remember from their past lives what they have brought with them. And notwithstanding that he is an Amsha, he is an incarnation of Bhagwan Shiv himself, but for the average Atman, as Swami Vivekananda would have said in his discourse, in his speech at the World Religious Gathering in Chicago, he would have said, all of us have the powers to remember all that we knew from our past lives. However, with the veil of the Maya, we cannot. Here it is, this young boy, he mastered the Vedas by the age of 8. From the beginning, he was attracted towards spirituality and being a sannyas. There are 4 stages in life, dear devotees. And he was in that brahmachari stage. But he always wanted to renounce. And he wanted to lead a meaningful life free of worldly pleasures. That is that stage where you give all only to Bhagwan, sannyasi. When he was 3 years of age, he lost his father, his Pitaji, he died, and his widowed mother, Aryamba, raised him on her own. It is said in a beautiful little katha here that every day his mother had to walk very, very far to collect water from the river. And so one day she fainted, and this young boy, having so much faith in Bhagwan, he began to pray to Bhagwan to relieve his mother and to somehow bring some relief to her, so she don't have to walk so far each and every day. And it is said here that Bhagwan appeared to him and blessed him by saying, the river will flow where your little feet mark the ground. So imagine this little child praying to Bhagwan, feeling helpless, and praying to Bhagwan to bring relief to his mother. And Bhagwan appears and says, the river will flow where your little feet mark the ground. The river took a new course towards the place marked by the little boy's feet. That is Adi Shankaracharya himself. Since then, the river course changed, and Shankar then installed Bhagwan Sri Krishna into a temple there to mark the occasion, and he recited the Akshuta Ashtakam there, devotee. Akshuta Ashtakam, very beautiful stotram there, devotees. And let us now enjoy this Akshuta Ashtakam as we pray to Bhagwan Sri Krishna, as we remember the miracles performed by Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji, as we celebrate his birth anniversary today, dear devotees. As we celebrate, let us enjoy his beautiful composition. Prem se bolo Shri Krishna Bhagwan ki jai ho.
अच्युतं केशवं रामनारायणं कृष्णदामोदरं वासुदेवं हरिं श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिकावल्लभं जानकीनायकं रामचन्द्रं भजे. वंशिने ते नमः। कृष्ण गोविन्द हे राम नारायण श्रीपते वासुदेवाजित श्रीनिधे अच्युतानन्त हे माधवाधोक्षज द्वारकानायक द्रौपदी रक्षक। राक्षस क्षोभित सीतया शोभितो दण्डकारण्यभूपुण्यताकारण लक्ष्मणेनान्वितो वानरैः सेवितो अगस्त्य सम्पूजितो राघव पातु माम्। धेनुकारिष्टको निष्ठकृद्वेषिः देशिहा कंसहृत् वंशिकावादक पूतना कोपक सूरजाकेलनो बालगोपालक पातु मां सर्वदा। विद्युदुद्योतवत् प्रस्फुरत् वाससं प्रावृढं बोधवत् प्रोलसत् विग्रहं वन्यया मालया शोभितोरस्थलं लोहिताङ्घ्रिद्वयं वारिजाक्षं भजे।
Prem se bolo Shri Krishna Bhagwan ki Jai Ho. Jai Sitaram devotees, Swagatam and welcome back to your virtual spiritual retreat from the Surrey Village Shiv Mandir with your Shri Pandit Shiva Janak Maharaj. And today we are celebrating and we are observing that of Shri Adi Shankaracharya's Jayanti, dear devotees. And we are celebrating his birth anniversary. And thus far we have seen the miracles from even before his birth and while he was a young boy, rechanneling that river for his mother. Such was his love for his Mataji. Matro Devo Bhava. Your mother is your first God. And so he recognized that. And dear devotees, as we continue to look at some of the other miracles that this young child, that beautiful Akshuta Ashtakam that you heard just now, dear devotees. So many stotrams that you would have, we use from day to day in our mandirs. In our mandirs, at the Surrey Village Shiv Mandir, every Sunday we sing the Linga Ashtakam that was written by Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji, as well as the Nirvan Suktam, which was also composed by Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji. He had that power, he had that ability to compose on the spot, their devotees, many beautiful pieces of devotion and praises to Bhagwan. And it says here, devotees, now the philosophies of Bhagwan, of Adi Shankaracharya, his teachings are based on the unity of the soul and Brahman, or the Brahman, their devotees, in which Brahman is viewed as without attributes. And Shankaracharya ji traveled across India and other parts of South Asia to propagate his philosophy through discourses and debates with other great thinkers, their devotees. He was a major proponent of the Vedanta tenets on that Lord Brahma and the men, that the Brahman and men are of one essence, and every individual should try to develop this vision of oneness with Bhagwan, their devotees. And so he propagated and he established 4 ashrams, or 4 different, in the 4 corners of Bharat of India, their devotees, where they are known as very great pilgrimage sites even to today. These are very various tirats which we can take to these mandirs or these ashrams of these centers of Hinduism that Adi Shankaracharya established, and he left his students to propagate and to teach his teachings, their devotees. It is said, after mastering the Vedas by age 16, he started on his quest for Satyam, of truth. One day a miracle took place. While Shankara was taking a bath in the river, his leg was caught in the jaws of a crocodile. Horrified, he called for his mother. You see, his mother, his father, his Pitaji had already died, and his mother now, she was attached to her little beta. You know how mothers are with their sons, especially, and with their children, very attached. She didn't want him to go, even though he always knew he wanted to enter that of sannyas, their devotees. She did not want him to. And so in this occasion, when the crocodile caught his leg in the river, and he called for his mother, who ran to the river bank to see her beloved son being dragged into the water. She helplessly watched and horrified at the scene unfold with her son. And he said to her, of her son, and said there was only one way. She looked at her and said, there was only one way this beast will release me from its jaws. You must allow me to enter into sannyas. You must allow me to become a renunciate. And as there was no alternative at the time, at the moment, she agreed, and the crocodile let go of Shankara. of Adi Shankaracharya ji, their devotees. And this is where, before taking leave of his mother, Shankaracharya ji, he assured her that he would be with her in her last days and would perform her funeral rites. And this is something, when you go into a stage of renunciate, you're not supposed to have any family ties or be performing any rituals. But here it is, he made a promise to his mother, his Mataji, that don't worry, I will come back and I will perform your rites. And dear devotees, if this was a promise that he fulfilled in spite of the problems he faced from others in his community, others who said, no, he couldn't do it and you can't do it, he said, that is my Mataji, Maturdeva Baba, she is my God on earth. And he performed that rites, dear devotees, when the time came. To fulfill his spiritual path, he set out in reach of his preceptor, his Guruji. He met with his Guru Swami Govindapada Acharya in the hermitage on the banks of the river Narmada, under the stewardship of his Sadguruji, Govindapadya ji, and the guidance. He mastered yoga, Vedanta and other systems and became a knower of Brahman. And Shankaracharya ji traveled all over India to meet the leaders of the different schools of thought. And so he debated them. Many of them became his followers when he won that debate with them. Later, he went to Kashi and he had a strange experience. When he was going to have his bath in the river Ganges, an outcast came from the opposite direction with 4 dogs and obstructed his way. Adi Shankaracharya ji ordered him to get out of his path. To his surprise, the outcast responded by, "O venerable, O learned Guru, you are the preacher of Advaita Vedanta, and yet you make a great difference between a man and a man. How can this be consistent with your teaching? Is Advaita only a theory or is it a practice?" Got him to think now, dear devotees. Adi Shankaracharya ji soon realized that this outcast, this Chandal, who was the person taking care of the disguise, as a person who is taking care of the place, the cremation site, dear devotee, was none other than Bhagwan Shiv himself, who took this form to teach him a lesson. He immediately fell at the feet of Bhagwan Shiv in that form. Right then and there, Shankar composed 5 shlokas and called the Manisha Panchak. Manisha Panchak. And these are some very other beautiful verses, once again very meaningful in terms of seeing Bhagwan in everyone, not seeing any differences, loving everyone, their devotees. Another beautiful shlokas written by Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji, as today we observe his birth anniversary, as we pray once again, Umapati Mahadev ki jai.
सति आचार्यस्य गमने कदाचिन्मुक्तिदायकं काशीक्षेत्रं प्रति सह गौर्या मार्गेषु शङ्करम् अन्त्यवेषधरं दृष्ट्वा गच्छ गच्छ इति अब्रवीत्। शङ्करः सोऽपि चाण्डालः तं पुनः प्राह शङ्करम् अन्नमयाद् अन्नमयम् अथवा चैतन्यमेव चैतन्यात्। हे द्विजवर, दूरीकर्तुं वाञ्छसि किं ब्रूहि गच्छ गच्छेति। किङ्गङ्गाम्बुनिबिम्बितेऽम्बरमणौ चाण्डालवाटीपयः पूरे चान्तरमस्ति काञ्चन घटे मृत्कुम्भयोर्वाम्बरे प्रत्यग्वस्तुनि निस्तरङ्गसहजानन्दावबोधाम्बुदौ विप्रोऽयम् श्वपचोऽयमित्यपि महान् कोऽयम् विभेदभ्रमः। शङ्कर उवाच जाग्रत्स्वप्नसुषुप्तिषु स्फुटतरा या संविदुजृम्भते या ब्रह्मादिपिपीलिकान्ततनुषु प्रोता जगत्साक्षिणी सैवाहम् न च दृश्यवस्त्विति दृढप्रज्ञास्ति यस्यापि चेत् चाण्डालोऽस्तु स तु द्विजोऽस्तु गुरुरित्येषा मनीषा मम। ब्रह्मैहाहमिदम् जगच्च सकलम् चिन्मात्रविस्तारितम् ब्रह्मैवाहमिदम् जगच्च सकलम् चिन्मात्रविस्तारितम् सर्वम् चैतदविद्यया त्रिगुणया शेषम् मया कल्पितम् इत्थम् यस्य दृढामतिः सुखतरे नित्ये परे निर्मले चाण्डालोऽस्तु स तु द्विजोऽस्तु गुरुरित्येषा मनीषा मम। शश्वन्नश्वरमेव विश्वमखिलम् निश्चित्य वाचा गुरोः नित्यम् ब्रह्म निरन्तरम् विमृशता निर्व्याजशान्तात्मना भूतम् भावि च दुष्कृतम् प्रदहता संविन्मये पावके प्रारब्धाय समर्पितम् स्ववपुः इत्येषा मनीषा मम। यातीयम् नरदेवतादिभिः अहमित्यन्तस्फुटा गृह्यते यद्भासा हृदयाक्षदेहविषयाः भान्ति स्वतोच्चेतनाः ताम् भास्यैः तर्कमण्डलनिभाम् स्फूर्तिम् सदा भावयन् योगी निर्वृतमानसो हि गुरुः इत्येषा मनीषा मम। यत्सौख्याम्बुधिलेशलेशत इमे शक्रादायो निर्वृता यच्चित्ते नितराम् प्रशान्तकलने लब्धा मुनिर्निर्वृतः यस्मिन् नित्यसुखाम्बुधौ गलितधीः ब्रह्मैव न ब्रह्मवित् यः कश्चित् स सुरेन्द्रवन्दितपदो नूनम् मनीषा मम।
उमापति महादेव की जय। Jai Sitaram, the devotees, Swagatam and welcome back to a virtual spiritual retreat from the Surrey Village Shiv Mandir with your Shri Pandit Shiva Janak Maharaj. And every Sunday we are with you on TV Jaagriti from 7 to 9 a.m. as well as a rebroadcast of the pravachan of the discourse every Thursday morning on radio at TV Jaagriti from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. and you can view this program in this virtual retreat anytime, anywhere on the internet with our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channels of the Surrey Village Shiv Mandir. Dear devotees, just look for us, like and share and subscribe to our YouTube page and follow our Facebook page so that you can be updated as to when these broadcasts come out, and you can the more you know, knowledge is power, dear devotees. And we saw that Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji is a perfect example of this. If we accept the knowledge and we strive to learn more and more, that knowledge itself, dear devotees. If you ever seen the movie Lucy, I envision Adi Shankaracharya ji was able to do all these miracles because, like the concept in the movie, he used a greater percentage of his brain, dear devotees, and through his genius in learning all the Vedas from the mere age of 8, and by 16 having composed all his commentaries and all the stotras and everything, dear devotees, that we use, we see that he definitely would have been someone who was able to access and use a greater percentage of his brain. And when you can do so, you can accomplish all these things. Don't think of it as science fiction. Our yogis have done this throughout the years, and Adi Shankaracharya, being one of the greatest of those yogis, had immense powers and siddhis. By using the greater capacity of the mind and the brain, he could have done all this. As I said, the movie Lucy could give you a better explanation of the concept of the more you use your brain, the kinds of things that are possible. And he showed this throughout his life. He commanded the deities and he changed things, and he changed the way things were in so many miracles that he would have performed as a child growing. Remember, he was only here for only 32 short years, and in the end, dear devotees, he walked together with Maharaj into as all the deities looked on and they paid their respect. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham, Shivoham Shivoham. He lived by his philosophy. And what was his teachings? If we were to sum, as we come to the end of the program, if we were to sum the teachings of so many teachings of Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji, his teachings of Adi Shankaracharya can be summed up in half of a verse. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mittaya Jivo Brahma Meva Na Aparaha. Brahman, the absolute, is the only thing that is real. This world is unreal, and that the Jiva, the individual soul, is no different from the Brahman, from the universal energy, dear devotees. This is it. Summarize his teachings and all his philosophies and all his shlokas and everything. This is the quintessence of his philosophy. So, dear devotees, we celebrate and we acknowledge today being Sri Adi Shankaracharya's Jayanti, and we pay our respects to that great Maha-Atman, that form of Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji, as we bow again and again at his lotus-like feet, as we use so many of his stotrams, as we highlighted here at the Surrey Village Shiv Mandir. Every single Sunday you will hear the Linga Ashtakam or the Nirvan Suktam that we include in our devotion to Bhagwan Shiv, and so many others. Even when we end our prayer, you will hear many of the Pandits, Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktahinam Janadana Yat Pujitam Mayadev Paripuranam Tarastame. All these were written by Adi Shankaracharya ji and is still used by all of us today. Still, dear devotees, he is making that impact. He only 32 years, but still remembered, dear devotees. So we pray and we bow to him. Now, following this program in this morning, we join together with the Pandits of the Pandits Parishad as we do our Mahamrityu Jaya mantra jap, dear devotees, for the health and the safety of all our peoples of the world, especially our country of Trinidad and Tobago, the Pandits Parishad. We have taken on this endeavor to pray for our people, to pray for everyone, their devotees. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Mandanan Mrityor Mukshaya Mamritat. Om Namah Shivaya. We pray for each one of you. So I hope all of you have your Havan Samagri and all your other ingredients, and you will be taking part as we join together with you. We pray collectively in the safety of your homes. It's a virtual event, you know. You have the links and so forth, and you join along and you chant that Mahamrityunjay mantra, and we share that with each and every one, their devotees. We pray for the health and safety and protection of you and your families and our nation and the world at large in this pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. So as we close this morning, we pray Om Asatoma Sadgamya Tamasoma Jyotirgamya Mrityorama Amritam Gamya. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.
All chant in your mind Om Namah Shivaya during this stotram. उमापति महादेव की. Now, dear devotees, we are about to perform that sacred homa, that havan, as we make the oblations of our devotion in the form of chanting the mantras to the various deities and offering to the sacred fire. It is said that Agin Devta is the mouthpiece of the Devatas. And when we chant their names, it's like, we write their name, their address on a letter. And then we say Swaha. It's like saying, click and send in our emails, so that it will go to their heavenly regions, magnify it and purify it, so that it reaches the respective recipients of each of the mantras. So as we first invite Agin Devta, we chant Harihi Om Shri Agin Devta Avahyami Dhyayami Cha Om Shri Agin Devta Avaham Asanam Samarpiyami. We take the ghee with the spoon and we offer Harihi Om Om Shri Agnaye Namah Swaha Om Shri Somaye Namah Swaha Om Shri Prajapate Namah Swaha Om Shri Indraye Namah Swaha Om Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namah Swaha. We take the tali with the samagri now as we feed with our hands. We continue. Om Bhu Swaha Om Bhuva Swaha Om Swaha Swaha Om Shri Brahmanaye Namah Swaha Om Shri Vishnave Namah Swaha Om Shri Rudraye Namah Swaha Om Shri Durga Devyai Namah Swaha Om Shri Lakshmi Devyai Namah Swaha Om Shri Saraswati Devyai Namah Swaha Om Gam Ganapataye Namah Swaha Om Ham Hanumantaye Namah Swaha Om Ram Ramaye Namah Swaha Om Shri Krishnaye Namah Swaha Om Shri Narayanaye Namah Swaha Om Shri Ishdevtabhyo Namah Swaha Om Shri Kuldevtabhyo Namah Swaha Om Shri Gram Devtabhyo Namah Swaha Om Shri Stan Devtabhyo Namah Swaha Om Shri Vastu Devtabhyo Namah Swaha Om Shri Prithvi Devyai Namah Swaha Om Shri Gauri Devyai Namah Swaha Om Shri Tulsi Devyai Namah Swaha Om Shri Shalikrambhava Namah Swaha Om Shri Satyanaran Swami Namah Swaha Om Shri Kalash Kumbhe Namah Swaha Om Shri Panchpal Devtabhyo Namah Swaha Om Shri Dikpal Devtabhyo Namah Swaha Om Shri Suryaya Swaha Om Shri Somaya Swaha Om Shri Bhaumaya Swaha Om Shri Budhaya Swaha Om Shri Gurave Swaha Om Shri Shukraya Swaha Om Shri Shankaracharaya Swaha Om Shri Rahave Swaha Om Shri Ketave Swaha. All the rest in 3 shares. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा। ॐ सर्वेभ्यो सर्वभुं स्वाहा। We all stand now for the Purnahuti. Harihi Om. Jayanti Kali Mangala Kali Bhadra Kali Kapalini Durga Chama Shivarachi Swaha Swadha Namosude. Om Purnamana Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Sarvadevi Sarvadevtaya Punutibhyo Namaha Swaha. Water, Achma. Om Sarvatirat Samayuktam Sugandhim Nirmalam Jalam Achmanyam Mayadatam Grihana Parameshwara. A flow of the fun. Harihi Om. Banaspatirasो bhuto ghanyaro ganna utma agreh sarvarevanam bhupoyam patigrihita. Harihi Om. We take our blessings in the name of Lord Shiva. We pass our hands over the fire and we take our blessings. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Harihi Om. We all stand now for our final Mangala Arati. As we do our Arati, wherever you are, at your homes as well, you perform that Mangala Arati in your minds. For Manas Puja, you wave the sacred light in front of all the deities as you seek your own blessings from where you are. Harihi Om. Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Sansara Saram Bhujagindraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayadavinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami.
Jai Jagadiisha Hare Swami Jai Jagadiisha Hare Bhakta Jano ke sangat Naaz Jano ke sangat Chanane dur kare Om Jai Jagadiisha Hare. जो जावे कल पावे दुख दिन से मन का स्वामी दुख दिन से मन का सुख संपत्ति इस गिरि मिलो दयाल तुमको मैं घुमती ओम जय जगदीश हरे दीन बंधु दुख हरता तुम रक्षक मेरे स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे अपने माधव राम करुणा सब राम शरण परा तेरी ओम जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्तजनों के संकट भक्तजनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे
Now, dear devotees, we have come to the end of this morning's programming, your virtual spiritual retreat here at the Surrey Village Shiv Mandir. And as we come to the close, we pray, O Lord, if there are any mistakes that we have made, knowingly, unknowingly, O Lord, please forgive us. We pray, O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, and lead us from mortality to immortality. As we close, we remind ourselves, as we should remind ourselves every day, every minute, every second, O Lord, you are my mother, you are my father, you are my best friend, you are my knowledge, you are my wealth, you are my everything, O Lord. Harihi Mantrahinam kriyahinam bhaktahinam jananam yat pujitam maya deva paripurnam tarastame Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. In one united voice we all chant Om Tvameva Mata च पिता त्वमेवा त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेवा त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः प्रेम से बोलो श्री गणेश भगवान की, उमापति महादेव की, श्री जगदम्बे दुर्गा माता की, श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की, सद्गुरु दंडवत जय जय Sitaram.